he's your favorite babyface. So it's, let me sum it up. It's the art of storytelling. And I say this all the time. Some great advice that The Undertaker gave me years ago. He said, what we do in the ring is tell stories. The moves are the illustrations. And, I know sometimes the young guys, especially younger fans, I'm old unk shaking my fist at the clouds now. But, think about it. Realistically, if you watch, when you're watching one of your favorite anime or a cartoon, or if you're reading a comic book, if you just got pow, oof, sock, randomly in there and the panels don't make sense, there's all kinds of fighting and stuff going on, but there's no story to it. Now, if you unjumble it and you have this guy walked up to this guy and this guy said something, this guy said something back, and then this guy stepped on this guy's shoe. So then this guy punched this guy, and now you've got pow, sock, oof, oof,
We got the story now.
Oh, I see what's going on here. But if you the first thing is just this punch, kick, what's going on here? So I always say it makes sense to tell the story you want to tell in the ring. Good guy versus bad guy. And yeah, everything evolves, of course. And there you have to make adjustments to stay current to the times. Like Shelton talked about a while back, Ernie Ladd giving him outdated advice about how to perform. Now, we don't do those things anymore. Those times are gone. And that still exists today. Everything evolves. So the things that used to be how you do it, okay, you don't have to do it that way anymore.
Well, let me ask you, Pete, when a younger talent gets pushed into a major spot before veterans think, he or she is ready, how does the locker room usually react to that? And what decides whether that push gets accepted or resented?
It comes down to two things. It comes down to the locker room, what kind of locker room you have. Through the years, I'm sure wrestling fans have heard stories about the WCW locker room during this era, the WWE locker room during this era, the AEW locker room during, and it depends on that individual. If it's a young talent who everybody sees like, man, this kid's working hard, he's respectful, he means it, he's not taking any shortcuts, he's invested. You get a lot of vets that see that and go, yeah, man, I'll put time into that kid. I'll actually share some of my wisdom and experience with this kid to make that kid better because they want it. You have a thing in this industry where you'll have younger talent will go up to veterans and they'll say, hey, would you watch my match, please? And then the veteran will watch the match and then give that young talent some advice. And the talent did that not because they wanted the advice to get better, but because it's the thing to do. It's the expected thing to do, to ask veterans for advice. But if you ask for the advice, you don't do anything with it, we peep that too. And we go, okay, you just playing the game. You ain't serious. But if you got that kid who everybody looks at and go, nah, he's got it. Now, if that same person gets a little ego, starts feeling themselves like, okay, you're getting the main event push, but you ain't there yet. Then you get the pushback, the resistance. And no matter what, let's just be real. We're dealing with humans. We're dealing with human beings in an ego-driven business. Don't let anybody tell you different. So yeah, you're going to have people that are salty and jealous. Why is he getting the push? I've been in this business for 20 years. I never got a shot. This kid, Hey, we don't get to pick and choose, The people who write the checks and are in my case, Tony Khan is my boss now. Before that, it was Vince McMahon. I worked in other places where you had, they have what they want. They have their vision for their storyline and what champions they want to represent their company. You may never fall in that scope. You may never be seen as that person for that ownership. And if not, travel the world and make your money. Have a great time. Make people remember you. You could be Scott Hall. You could be that person that had a Hall of Fame career that should have held a major title, but never did. So in the case of a young talent, if you got a mature locker room of professionals who know the game, and they see that this young talent is actually somebody who could draw money, who has a brilliant future for the company, well, a rising tide lifts all ships. So you want that kid to do well. And if the kid's no, then yeah, it's not.
Subscribe to Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze. New episodes drop every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern.